My name is Teresa Woodruff, and I welcome you to this certification process in oncofertility. Let me introduce you to myself. I am a professor of biomedical engineering and obstetrics and gynecology at Michigan State University. I also serve as the provost of Michigan State University and also the founder and director of the Oncofertility Consortium. As a fundamental scientist, my area of work has been to develop a series of mechanisms by which an ovarian follicle can be grown outside the body and eventually put back together in an artificial ovary that we hope will provide one of the solution sets for future oncofertility patients. Oncofertility is a word that we coined in about 2006. And it indicates the merger of the fields of fertility and oncology together in a way that allows the patient who has a fertility concern in the cancer setting to be able to have the right kind of physician-based services. The Oncofertility Certificate Program is a way that you can learn each of the aspects of fertility management so you can be competent within your specialty or practice, or can in fact develop your own oncofertility program at your institution. This certificate program is sponsored by the Oncofertility Consortium, which is a global group of specialists who have come together to build next generation practice management plans as well as fundamental science translated options from bench to the bedside. In this professional specialization course leading to a certificate, you will take 4 different courses. The first of which is simply the emergence of the field of oncofertility, so you know where you sit in this new discipline. You will then learn the essentials of oncofertility, from the introduction to female and male oncofertility, as well as to the special cases for pediatric oncofertility. You'll learn about cryopreservation of gametes and gonadal tissue, as well as some of the international fertility preservation guidelines and organizations, as well as networks that will be important to you as you begin your practice. In the third series of modules, you'll learn how to start and advance your oncofertility program, really from some of the keys for what you need for your program at your institution or in clinic, all the way through matters associated with ethical, economic, or legal issues of oncofertility. Finally, you'll be learning about challenges in oncofertility, from surgical techniques to special case reports to the sexual health of cancer survivors and fertility preservation in non-cancer patients. The target audience for this Oncofertility Consortium specialization is anyone within the healthcare profession, from physicians to allied health professionals, genetic counselors, as well as fundamental scientists or those who are working within the laboratory setting of an oncofertility practice. Our goal is to help bring the entire group of scholars and clinicians together to serve our patients better. We have a series of objectives for this particular specialization series, and let me go through them one by one. The first is that at the conclusion of the Oncofertility Specialization course, you'll be able to describe the emergence of the field of oncofertility, as well as think about its future directions and the way in which you'll be bridging our present to that future. You'll also be able to formulate individual fertility management plans for young cancer patients, including from children to young adults. You'll next be able to describe the options that are available, from embryos to oocytes to sperm to tissue, each one of which having a particular need for you to learn and understand the ways those tissues or those cells are managed. You'll be able to discuss the international guidelines that have been developed by a large number of international groups that have worked together to ensure that the way in which we practice medicine in this discipline has the imprimatur of every single society in the world. And then you'll be able to set plans that allow you to start a series of programs for individual patients that have very specific complexities associated with them. And lastly, you'll be able to think in a multidisciplinary way. You'll be able to bring together in your setting all of the scholars, the clinicians, the group that will need to be successful within your particular setting.